Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Homewrecker podcast, where we normally wreck and shatter conventional wisdom and ways of thinking, but this week we're not doing that. No, not this week. I am the Golden Greek, Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous wife, Monique. Monique, how are you today?
Hiya, I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic, as always.
Woo!
So this week, what we're doing for this show, we're recording on Thursday, April the 17th, and in 2 days it is what?
WrestleMania!
That's right.
Woo!
So we thought it'd be fun to do our WrestleMania preview show. So we'll talk about the matches. It's 2 nights again this year. I think this is going to be a staple from now on. And it's going to be in Vegas, baby. Yeah. You ever been to Vegas?
Never.
Me neither.
I've never been to the West Coast.
You never been to the West Coast?
No.
Oh, all right. Cool.
I think the farthest west that I've been is Ohio.
Really? That's it? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, okay.
I've been south, and I've been to Europe. I've been to the Caribbean.
Yeah, those are probably all better anyway.
Canada, but all more on the eastern side.
No disrespect meant to anyone on the West Coast.
I'd like to go. I've wanted to go check it out. Just never had the opportunity. And you?
Have I been to Vegas? No,
Yes.
Never been to Vegas. I've been to the West Coast. Actually, because of you is why I went to the West Coast. You surprised me for my birthday one year. And you flew me out there to visit my brother when he was living out there. And
Because
I went with
I'm
my
awesome.
dad. Yeah, and you set up the whole thing. You were pretty awesome like
I
that.
called your boss at work to get you the time off. And
Yeah,
I said, if anyone tells Alex about the surprise, if they ruin it, I will kill them. And he believed me.
Yeah, because nobody ever told me a damn thing. so it worked out, which is great. But anyway, maybe that's a story for another podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be watching WrestleMania this weekend. Hopefully everybody that's listening to this is watching WrestleMania too, because otherwise why are you listening to us talk about it?
Well, maybe because you might want to watch it.
Maybe. But the goal is to get this out before WrestleMania, and we've been watching everything leading up to it. For the most part. We've watched pretty much all of the TV leading up to it, I think. If not the entire show, bits and pieces here and there. But we got a pretty good idea of what's going on with all the matches and storylines leading up to the biggest show of them all, right? Every year is the greatest WrestleMania of all time and the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So we'll see if this year lives up to that.
And I'm very curious because I was thinking about how much I loved last year's WrestleMania. And we did an episode on it. So go back and listen if you're interested. But last year's WrestleMania was so good. And I think, can they top it? I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope they do.
I'm going to say prediction, they'll top it. It'll be better.
I hope so.
I feel like most years they're able to top themselves. So we'll see what happens with this year's.
So for anyone who's new listening to us, WrestleMania for us is very big. It's a big deal. Ever since we've been together.
For every wrestling fan, but yes.
Yeah, and for us, we kind of make it an event. We, get lots of food. I make stuff, and a lot of food is involved, but we just want to have a lot of fun. So WrestleMania also tends to fall around the time of our middle child's birthday. So this year, his birthday is on WrestleMania on Saturday.
Yeah, night one WrestleMania is his birthday.
So
it's a big deal
it
here in
is.
this household.
Yes,
it'll be fun.
I've been baking and making treats, getting ready in preparation. I have a lot to do still, but I want to make sure that, everyone is able to have fun, but our son has a good birthday as well.
That's right. Well, that's first and foremost, of course. But yeah. Yeah, we make it a big deal every year. We have for the last, almost 10 years now, right? We try to make it kind of a big deal.
I know, honey. We've been doing it over 15 years since we've been together.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But I mean that we don't watch NFL football. We don't watch any of that stuff. So for us, this is our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is
our one thing.
It's our one thing that we look forward to and we do every year, and we try to make it a big deal. And now, as of course, as the children have gotten bigger and they're huge wrestling fans as well, it's kind of fun. Well, not kind of. It is. It's a lot of fun to be able to share
and watch their
reactions, because like I found to the obviously the longer I've been removed from being involved in wrestling, and the further away from it I get, the closer to getting back to being just a fan I get to be, and to experience that with my kids is awesome, because they're like the biggest fans, and they love it, and they have so much fun, especially our middle child, whose birthday it is this weekend. He loves it, and he reminds me of me when I was a kid. Like I used to get like that too.
Me too.
So, and I can remember sitting up late at night on the Saturday night's main event when Hulk Hogan came out to save the Macho Man from the Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation. I was literally sitting there biting my fingernails. It was the first time I ever bit my fingernails, was there watching, because I was so nervous. Like, what's going to happen? They're going to hurt Macho Man. Oh, no. And then Hulk Hogan came out, and I'm just like jumping up and down in my bedroom. I'll never forget that. I was probably almost his age. I was like 9 or 10 when that happened. So,
and I will share, before we get into the matches that are scheduled, when I was pregnant with him, I remember the due date, his birth was close to WrestleMania.
That's right. Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, oh, please don't be born on WrestleMania. I really want to watch WrestleMania. He listened. It worked out perfect.
How funny is that, right?
I know.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into the show. As we said, it's going to be from Vegas this year. It starts they've got it listed as a 4:00 start time, but that's for the pre-show. And it's on Peacock if you want to watch it in the United States, on Peacock. And I believe it's on Netflix everywhere else in the world. So it's available. You can watch it if you have one of those two services. I'm sure it's still on pay-per-view if you are a cable subscriber and you want to watch it on pay-per-view through your cable provider. Go crazy. But
we haven't watched SmackDown on, obviously, because it's not Friday yet. And there's the Hall of Fame.
There's a Hall of Fame that takes place
Any
tomorrow
thoughts
night as well.
On the Hall of Fame?
I like the Hall of Fame every year when they do it,
mm-hmm.
because I'm a big fan of, I like hearing old stories and things like that the guys tell when they're being inducted and when they're accepting the award or whatever. So I like that kind of stuff. I don't know about this year's, though. I don't know. I mean, Triple H is going in, which I think it's obviously deserved for everything he did in the ring. And maybe he'll go in again in 20 years because of all the stuff he's doing outside of the ring, too. I think he deserves. There can be an argument made for him going in twice for that.
Yeah.
Geez, who else is going in? They're doing for the first time this year. They're doing it's a match, a WrestleMania match is going in. It's Bret Hart versus Stone Cold from WrestleMania 13 is being inducted as a match.
I love
which
that
I think
idea.
is cool. Yeah, it's awesome, and that's a great first match. And I think we did a watch along of that match with our good buddy Sean Gorman a while back. And so if you ever want to go back and listen to that, but yeah, that's going to be cool. So hearing those two guys talk about the match, well, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be interesting. I don't know, but like, who else is going in?
The Natural Disasters.
The Natural Disasters. So so Earthquake and Typhoon.
Yes.
Right.
Lex Luger.
That Lex Luger's going in. Okay, that should be good.
Yeah.
That should be. I wish they would have got. I know he wanted Sting to induct him because they're like best friends, but it's going to be Diamond Dallas Page instead. Sting, apparently, from everything I've seen, is still under contract to the rival wrestling promotion, AEW. So he obviously, even though he's not wrestling anymore, he's still under a talent contract, so he could not appear. But so that's too bad. But I mean, it should be good. I think he'll have a good speech and everything. And then who else was it? It was
Michelle McCool.
Michelle McCool, which, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna just go out and say it. The only reason I think she's getting into the Hall of Fame is because she's married to The Undertaker.
Well, I think that a lot of people say that, and I'm going to just say I've never met her. I wasn't really watching much when she was wrestling.
I was never impressed when I watched her wrestle. There was nothing that really stood out about her.
Now, the thing we have to remember too with these Hall of Fame things, which I think a lot of people don't think about, it may not necessarily just be that because of what they did in the ring. It might also be how they were perceived backstage. So, yes, you're right. She's married to The Undertaker. I'm sure that's a big part of it. But as you get on through the years, the pickings, as they say, get kind of slimmer and slimmer as far as if you wanted to, if they're doing like a quota kind of thing where they want to have one woman, at least one woman in every Hall of Fame, who else is left that hasn't already been inducted? So I think they're kind of now like just kind of picking at, and they just need names to go in. I could be wrong about that. Again, this is all speculation, just me talking crap because I have no idea. I'm not there. But I think that a lot of it has to do with just their perception among their peers.
Possibly.
If she was like a super helpful, super giving performer, I don't know. I didn't really watch her much.
Well, we'll see during
we'll find out when she gets inducted.
Yeah.
And do we know who's inducting her?
Her husband, I'm sure.
It is going to be okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we'll see what he says about her and what she says in her speech. I mean, I can't. Again, on its face, you go, really, Michelle McCool? But who knows? Who knows? Like, I mean, who knows? you don't know.
I just feel like during that Divas time, I really wasn't. I hated that stuff. I hated like, oh, let's get models.
That was like what I would. The DVR had come out, and I would always, if I wasn't watching wrestling live, I would always fast forward through any of that stuff. So that's why I say I never really saw it. And if I was watching a show live and the women's stuff would come on back then, that'd be when I'd go up to use the bathroom or something, or I'd go do something else. I mean, I'm just being honest. It was never, and I think that
I'm a female and I didn't.
I think a lot of people were like that. Now, if you're talking about today's women's wrestling, I don't do that. I watch it because it's
great.
It's worlds better.
Yes.
It's worlds better. And the athleticism and everything is so much better than it was back then. So I will say that. And it took me a while to come around to even that. But now it's like, I look forward to a lot of the women's stuff. They're great. So anyway.
We also have Kamala.
Yeah, they're doing like a
legacy
kind of thing. Okay, so that'll be cool. I don't know if they're going to show all of those inductions or have speeches for all of those.
I don't know. Dory Funk and Ivan Koloff.
So Dory Funk Sr., correct?
Yes, I'm sorry, Dory Funk Sr.
So that's another one. Like, I don't know. These three are obviously going in posthumously. They've all passed away. Ivan Koloff, the guy who famously ended Bruno Sammartino's first reign as the WWF heavyweight champion back in Madison Square Garden. I think it was 1972 when he famously dropped the knee from the top rope and the Garden went quiet after the 3 count. Just no boos, just silence because everybody was shocked that he actually beat Bruno.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it like he thought he went deaf for a second?
Yeah, Bruno used to tell the story that he thought that he had lost his hearing. He thought Koloff must have come down so hard that it broke his eardrum or something because he couldn't hear anything. And he couldn't hear anything because there was nothing going on. Everybody just went quiet, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. But anyhow, moving on. So that's the Hall of Fame. We'll see what happens. SmackDown is tomorrow night as we're recording this. So obviously that's the final show before WrestleMania. I'm sure there's going to be some other additional things that may happen. I know that Randy Orton, we don't know who he's wrestling yet. So we will talk about that when the time comes, but I'm sure that we'll hopefully find out tomorrow night if he is going to have a match or not. But moving on to night one. So night one is going to be Saturday. As I was saying before, it starts at 4:00, but it's a 3-hour countdown show. So the actual event itself won't begin till 7.
And I said it before, I like when they started a little earlier.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I am I'm in bed at 7.
She's not kidding. Most nights we're in bed by 7. That's not an exaggeration.
And that's way past my bedtime. Like even like 10:30, like 9:30, I'm ready to fall asleep. So 10:30, 11:30, the later it goes. But these shows are stacked. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think I saw that they are. And they could do whatever they want on Peacock. They can go as long as they want to. but I think I saw that it's scheduled to go till 1 a.m. And I don't know if that's counting the because they've been doing post they call them PLEs now, premium live events instead of pay-per-view, but they call them they have like post-show press conferences a lot of times, or they call it the post-show now, I think, but it's basically they'll intersperse commentators speaking about the event, and then they'll cut to like a press conference type thing with people and whatever. But
I'm gonna do my hardest to stay up. At 6 hours is a really long time for any kind of wrestling show.
It's a long night.
And
sure.
That's a lot. And
so if they're gonna do 6 hours, and that's just what they've allotted for the wrestling matches and the event itself, never mind the viewer at home on the East Coast, but even the people that are there live watching, that's a long time. That's a long time. I mean, you think about, like, for example, we likened it to the Super Bowl before. How long does a Super Bowl game go?
A few hours?
3.5 hours at the most. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a long time.
I think like 4 hours max.
I mean, they do it. It's once a year. It's WrestleMania, so it's cool. Hey, it was long last year too, and it was awesome. We loved it. So we'll see what happens this year with it.
Yeah.
But let's get into the matches, shall we? So night one, we have. Oh, let me flip my page to night one. Night one, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
I love the El Grande Americano angle they're doing.
I love it too. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's
from the Gulf of America. I heard they changed that because people were pissed or something.
Did they?
Yeah,
no,
I thought I read that and I was like,
on.
are they really doing this?
Oh, come on.
Because I think that's absolutely stupid.
That's
the whole
too bad.
point is to be funny.
The whole point is to get heat for the characters.
But it's awesome. I love it.
Yes. So if you've been watching the show, it's Chad Gable, who's been there for many, many years. Great wrestler, actually fantastic wrestler. And he went to Mexico because he kept getting beat by all the luchadors. The luchadors are the wrestlers from Mexico. Rey Mysterio Jr., who's the other guy? Ultimo Dragon. No, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Oh my gosh.
Dragon Lee?
Dragon Lee. What the heck did I say? Wow. Dragon Lee, excuse me. These Mexican wrestlers were beating him all the time. So he went to Mexico to learn, in his words, the dark art of lucha libre. And they showed this like whole thing with him where he was supposedly in Mexico buying a mask, and it was great. It was awesome.
And Chad Gable is so good.
He's so awesome.
He's so good. He's such a phenomenal wrestler.
In the ring, but I mean his promos.
Oh.
His character development, going from being this great, like ultra baby face, good guy, technical wrestler type, whatever, to what he is now. He's so good at being just cocky, arrogant. He's just great. Mm-hmm. He's just great. I hope they do great things with him. And this is one of them. This is entertaining as all hell. I love it. So who do you got coming out on top in this one? Rey Mysterio, who's been there for a super long time, obviously a living legend, one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers of all time, but you could argue probably the greatest high flyer of all time, against El Grande Americano, who obviously is Chad Gable in the mask. They have not revealed that. They won't say that on TV. They intimate it. It's obvious if you're looking, but it's really well done how they're doing the whole thing. But who do you think is going to come out on top in this one?
I think they're probably going to put Rey Mysterio over. They're going to have him win, but I want El Grande Americano to win.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think they're going to put Rey Mysterio over. I think it's going to be El Grande Americano.
I hope so.
Because it's just starting out. You can't, and they just recently, now they have him loading his mask, so he's putting like a steel plate in the front of his mask and using it to headbutt his opponents. It's so old school. I don't want to say cheesy, but it's just old school wrestling, and it's awesome. It's great, and it works. The crowd's eating it up, so it's great. So I think it's too soon to beat him, I think he's going to be El Grande Americano for a while.
I hope so.
I hope so too, but I think I think he's definitely going to be beating Mr. Mysterio. All right, the next match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a grudge match, if you will.
So I'm going to be honest. Last year, I was singing the praises of these women, and this year, Jade Cargill, I feel like when she first came out, it's like, okay, and yeah, she's being protected, and, she's new, but I haven't been as impressed with her progress. So, I don't know. Naomi's good. I like what they're doing with her. They're kind of, I like where they're going, but I just, with Jade Cargill, I don't know how good of a match it will be. I hope it's awesome.
I'm gonna shatter some illusions now for anybody listening that doesn't already know this, that hasn't seen it or read it somewhere or heard it somewhere. They have a ring that they set up at the hotel WrestleMania week, and these guys and gals are there. They've probably been there since Monday or Tuesday of this week. If you weren't at Raw Monday, you were there at the WrestleMania week. They have a ring set up there, and they go over all of these matches multiple times before the big event on Saturday. Because nowadays, pro wrestling, or especially WWE, the scale of production it's essentially you're having dress rehearsal, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It's a performance. It's not like wrestling was even when I was involved in it. Everything is mapped out in advance for about, I'll say, 90% of this card will be done, walked through, gone over, choreographed, rehearsed, done dozens of times before they get in the ring on Saturday and Sunday. So I think, and that's the other thing too, just kind of shattering, giving away some of the secrets. All these matches have people assigned to them to help the competitors, the participants out with putting together their matches. So they'll help them out with ideas. They'll say, oh, you want to do this move? Okay. You want to do this move? Okay, great. This is how the order you should do it in. They go through everything with these people.
And that's great, but it doesn't mean anything if you forget what you're supposed to do and you get lost.
Agreed. But I think that knowing these two, I think that they will have it, that it'll be good. I think it'll be, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it'll be solid.
Good.
I don't think it's going to be like over the top awesome. Maybe it will be, but I think it'll be solid. I think it will be better than you think it will be.
And who do you want to win?
I don't care. Honestly, I really don't care. But I'd put Naomi over.
That's what I'd like to see.
If I was figuring it, if I was in charge, I'd put her over because I think it would make a more interesting story. Because if Jade Cargill just beats her, okay, well, she beat her. Great. Suppose, like, the storyline they're doing is that Naomi attacked Jade Cargill and threw her through a car windshield and she was out for several months. I don't know if there was a real injury that they did that storyline for, or if it was just to give her time off to get better, or if she had some other stuff going. I have no idea the backstory. I just know she was off TV had to be a good 4 months or so, right?
Yeah, it was a while.
So in the interim, while she was off, Naomi was tag teaming with Bianca Belair. They won the tag team titles. Then they lost the tag team titles. Jade Cargill comes back at Elimination Chamber and attacks Naomi, takes her out of the match because she was in the match, takes her out of the match, beats her up, whatever, and then that's pretty much where we're at now.
They've been kind of...
Naomi and Bianca Belair broke up, had this big fight on TV where they both cried. And anyway, I don't know. I really don't. I think Naomi should win this one, but it'll probably be Jade if I had to guess.
I hope Naomi wins.
What's the next one we got here?
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE United States Championship.
So LA Knight's the champ in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really seen a lot of the build up for this one. SmackDown's a show that we kind of catch here and there we don't see every one of them. And when we do, we try to they're so long. We just try to kind of fast forward through some things. So we might have missed a lot of the buildup for this one. So I don't really know a lot of the buildup. I know that Jacob Fatu is awesome.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch. He's awesome. But LA Knight's great too. So I don't know who you...
I would like to see Jacob Fatu win.
I'd like to see him win too, but I feel like LA Knight just won the title back. So I don't know if they're going to keep it on him for a little while or what. Yeah, it hasn't even been a month. He just beat it. Who was it? Shinsuke Nakamura had it.
Yeah.
And
it felt longer.
No, he's only had it for like a month, I think. It was pretty recent that he won it back. So if he loses it again, I mean, they very well could. I don't know. I just feel like they've been keeping the championship belts on people for longer lately, which I like better. I don't like when it's a hot potato.
And if he keeps the belt, I'm fine with that. But I really enjoy watching Jacob Fatu, and I'd like to see where it goes, especially because the stuff that they've been doing with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, where like, was it a few weeks ago, they interfered in one of his matches, and so he got pissed and basically told him to back off a bit. It's like he's breaking off into his own. So I'd like to see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think if I had to predict, I'd say I think LA Knight's gonna win that one, and you'll probably see Solo and Tama maybe try to get involved and it backfires or something. I don't know. But I'd like to see them do something with Jacob Fatu, and I think just the fact that he's getting a U.S. title match is great for him.
He's so good.
And it's his first WrestleMania, so who knows? Maybe they will put the belt on him. I don't know. We'll find out. The WWE World Tag Team Championships will be defended by the champions, the War Raiders.
Yeah.
Taking on the New Day. The New Day.
I like the New Day.
The New Day is awesome. The bad guy New Day.
Yeah, the New Day. I like them.
They're awesome, and we like the War Raiders a lot. Obviously,
yes.
Like we're pretty tight with one of them. He's we go way back. Great friend of ours.
He trained me at Chaotic Wrestling.
That's right. He did.
Yep, the handsome one.
That's right. And so the this match, they just wrestled on Raw like 2 weeks ago. It ended in a disqualification. I don't know. I think I want to say that the New Day is going to win this one. I just have a feeling the New Day is going to. I mean, I love the War Raiders, but I think the New Day with this new gimmick, you can't beat them this quick. I think they're going to be the new tag team champions.
Here's the thing.
My prediction.
Regardless, I know it is going to be an amazing match. It's going to be good. And if the New Day wins, I don't think I'll be mad at it, but I still just really want the War Raiders to hold on, only because our friend, because it's, our friend who's a part of it, and I want to see him hold on to that and keep it for a while longer. I'm biased.
Yes,
I admit it.
Well, that's fine. I think the New Day, if I'm putting this together, if this is me, I'm putting the New Day over. I just think they need the steam. They're brand new in their heel run. They're fresh in it. They're finally getting the tag title. They're going to get the tag titles. Just my prediction. I could be wrong. I think it's going to be a great match, though.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'm really excited.
I think it's going to be really good. The War Raiders, their offense is brutal. The New Day, it's Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. They've been together forever as well. So the two teams that they've been together forever. They're both great tag teams. So I think it's going to be a great match.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
The next match we can talk about, the WWE Women's Championship match with the champion, Tiffany Stratton, defending her title against the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Nepo Queen, as she said.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts about this one.
Oh, I have some thoughts on this one.
I know you do.
So let's back up to Royal Rumble.
Let's get crazy controversial now. You're going to piss some people off.
I got some words.
Go crazy.
backing up to Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair comes out at the end and wins. And I was pissed. I didn't want her to win. She's been gone forever. I don't care. And it's like, I feel like it's always she like goes away, she comes back, she wins. Okay, like build her up a little bit. But so, and I have to say this, she comes back with like new face, like she leaves, she comes back, she either has, different breasts, different lips, different face, like there's always something surgically modified about her. And I personally don't like that, because I look at it like, to me, like it seems like you're not happy with yourself, which is really sad. And the fact that you feel you have to change how you look to make yourself feel better, or maybe to please others, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't show confidence to me. And you come off acting all confident, but you're doing all these things that contradict that. So, I'm just not impressed. And so she wins Royal Rumble. She gets this shot. Her and Tiffany Stratton are going to face off. And then they had this kind of like side by side sort of, what do you call that?
They call it like a face to face promo. It's basically, you've seen in boxing and other things, it's where they have both people on the screen at the same time, but they're not sitting in the same room. They're side by side, a little box on the screen, side by side, and they have somebody commentating over it or whatever.
And that was awkward, because it was like Tiffany Stratton couldn't get a word in, and I thought, oh, okay, is this what they're doing? They want Charlotte to be stronger. And the other thing is, Charlotte's been getting booed. Like, just anytime I've seen her come out, she is getting booed. And it doesn't feel like, boo, you're a heel, we don't like you. It feels like, boo, we don't want to watch you. Just go away. And I heard somebody say like, oh, well, Dominic had that, but I feel like it was different. It was like more fun to boo him. This feels like people just don't want to watch her. And so there was that face to face, and it was kind of weird because it felt like Charlotte really wouldn't let Tiffany Stratton get a word in. And it's like, okay, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. But then they had the face to face in the ring with Wade Barrett moderating. And I don't know what happened, but it felt like it went off the rails a little bit. And then we're hearing, you hear stuff on social media about how they went off script, all these things. But Charlotte Flair was getting booed so badly. And she would like stop. And at one point she's like, what do you want me to say? And I'm thinking, oh dear, like, I don't think you're supposed to do that if you're in the ring and you're getting booed. I don't know. It was just, it felt so awkward. And the word I used with Alex was, it was cringe. Like the like what she was doing. And I felt, part of me felt just bad for her. Like, I wouldn't want to be in that position. Like, I obviously probably wouldn't do any better, but it's just like, but she's the veteran. And then you have Tiffany Stratton, and everyone's loving her. And I feel like she started off as a heel, but I think she just really won people over. I think she's really good, and I know she's still new. But for being as new as she is, I think she's really good. And with time and getting more polished, I think she's going to be another wrestler who's just extremely entertaining, and that I want to watch her. I enjoy it. So you have the fan favorite, and then the person who people just, I feel like they just not even don't care about, they just don't want her. And it went a bit off the rails, and Charlotte's like, I'll let you have the last word.
Are you going back to the promo now?
Yeah, so back to the promo. Charlotte's like, I'll let you have the last word. But Tiffany makes a comment about her divorces. Like, because she said, you were on a Boohoo talk show. And she's like, you're going to be alone. Just like outside the ring. Like, inside the ring, you're going to be alone just like you are outside. Like, what was it, 0 for 3? Because she's been divorced 3 times. And she like woos and slides out the ring. And then Charlotte tries to grasp at straws and say, oh, is that why Kaiser's in my DMs? And that was weird because I felt like it was too little too late. And again, you said she could have the last word, and you can't even let her do that. But again, that was so awkward, and it was just,
So what happened was they were in Chicago. The two women got in the ring, as you said, this time with Wade Barrett moderating it. And it felt like it went off the rails. Again, they probably do walk through. Here's the first part of that was weird. Speaking of that promo. Oh, and actually, let me rewind and go back to the one that we talked about before where Charlotte was just kind of all over Tiffany in that face-to-face, side-by-side on TV promo. That was a pre-tape. So if Charlotte ate her up, as people are speculating, and went into business for herself and did all this stuff, they still aired it.
Mm-hmm.
So if that wasn't what was supposed to happen, well, that's the final product that was aired on TV. So
I figured they wanted to make her look stronger because people don't like her. I don't know.
I feel like when she won at the Royal Rumble, I don't think the response was as positive as they maybe had envisioned it, or maybe they did envision it being this way. You got some very smart people that are running the show there. So I don't know. I didn't think it was a strong reaction for her. And then when she came out on Raw the next night after the Rumble to give her like victory speech or whatever the heck, her comeback speech, I feel like even there was not met with a very positive reception at all. So most times, typically when a wrestler makes their return, it's a positive response, even if the person was injured and left as a bad guy, for example. I feel like when they come back, it's always a positive response. It's kind of like a welcome back kind of thing. Like fans are glad to see you, and then they'll do something dastardly and they'll boom again. That didn't happen with her. I feel like she just got a negative response right off the gate, like just right off the bat, because it just seemed like nobody really cared. And like you mentioned, she looks different, a lot different. She's dropped a lot of weight too. She looks very thin. And that could be because she's coming back from a knee injury. Could be she just wants to be lighter so she can still do a lot of the high-impact stuff and not have as much weight crashing down on her knee. I don't know. I feel like the gear that she wears is not very flattering.
No.
I feel like whatever cosmetic surgery she's had done, it doesn't improve her look.
She was beautiful originally.
That's my take. Again, I've never been one who really gets why people do that stuff. I get why they do it, but I don't get it at the same time. I know the reason. It still doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you're going to age, just age gracefully, Yeah. But anyway. So all of that stuff, I think, factors in, like you said. And then when they got in the ring in Chicago for that face-to-face a couple weeks ago, when they were in the ring with Wade Barrett, they both came out. They both were dressed pretty much the same.
Yeah, and
that was the first
weird.
thing. So that was weird.
And it was like weird dress, like lingerie, kind of black lace and whatnot. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like, why do they dress the same?
Yeah.
What's that about?
But what the fuck are they wearing anyway?
Like, what is this? So that right off the bat was kind of weird. Like, what's this about? Okay, it's interesting. And then the back and forth that they had going on was just kind of pretty tame. And then there was some parts where they were just kind of talking over each other, and Charlotte Flair was like making fun of Tiffany's voice. She's got kind of a high-pitched voice.
Which, can I just say, as somebody who's been made fun of relentlessly because of their voice, I'm sorry, but that's just stupid. Like, is that the best that you can do?
I seriously, I was watching, because we watched it again after the show was done. We watched it again because it was just so weird after it happened live. Just like, what happened there? And then we watched it again. And it's like, I remember after watching it the second time, I'm like, it's like, what are you, in 6th grade?
Yeah.
You're making fun of her voice? Like, what is this? What's going on here?
If you have to go to making fun of somebody's voice, you got nothing else.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, what?
Your arsenal is empty.
Are we back in grade school? Yeah. Like, what's going on with this now? You making fun of her voice?
And then it comes off really like catty, but not even like,
but not in an entertaining way. No,
or entertaining. It just comes off pathetic and again cringe, because it's like, that's the best you got. And I don't know if that's what they were supposed to do, if they thought it'd go over well, but I feel like it didn't.
So again, with wrestling, it is scripted. All scripted, and there's walkthroughs, there's rehearsals, all kinds of stuff. But sometimes when you're in the ring and you're in front of people, you might say something, and then the person you're in there with may say something. It may not go exactly according to plan. It may go off script. What someone, as they call it in the wrestling business, might go into business for themselves and just do their own thing to try to get themselves more over with the crowd. Did that happen here? I don't know. Did it happen in the side-by-side thing from the week prior? I don't know. All I know is it was pre-taped the week prior and it aired. So if that was Charlotte just steamrolling over Tiffany and the company was fine with it, hey, that could be that they were just like, well, she didn't defend herself or talk, because you're allowed to do that, especially now with the new management. You're allowed to talk, and you're allowed to. You don't. Yes, they script things, but it's not as heavily scripted as in the past. So you're allowed to get your receipt back and get yourself over as well. If Tiffany just let herself get steamrolled, then she did. But this, I think, it looked like she was trying to make her come back a little bit and get one over on Charlotte. I think Charlotte let the crowd get to her for sure in Chicago.
And it looked like it was. Like, there were points where just in her eyes, she looked upset.
It looked like it was getting to her. And if she's supposed to be the heel in this whole thing, and the way that she's been acting, the things that she's been saying, I would say that she's supposed to be the bad guy here. So if the crowd is booing you relentlessly, I'm sorry, this is like day one of wrestling school. If you're the heel, that's the reaction you want. You want to be booed. So why she would get upset about being booed, I have no earthly idea.
And they're booing her, and like one of the first things she says is, "You hear that? That's power." And I thought, huh? It just didn't feel like it fit. I don't think power was the right word. And then Tiffany turned it around on her, because she's like doing the finger on the wrist, like, what time is it?
And she gets the crowd to chant, it's Tiffy time. Like, it's so loud against Charlotte. Like, it was amazing just how into Tiffany they were and how against Charlotte they were. But as you said before, I feel like it's not the like the Dominic Mysterio kind of, what they call it in wrestling is heat, when the crowd hates you.
And they don't let you talk.
It's not that kind of heat. It feels to me, because I again, just from having experienced it myself and knowing the different kinds, it feels like that go away heat, they call it.
Because they literally just want her to go away.
They just want you to go away. Yeah. They don't even want to see you. That's not I hate your guts. I can't wait to see you get your ass kicked. I want to see someone punch you in the face. I hate you so much. Boo. It's not that kind of heat. No. It's the boo, get out of here. Throw Rotten Tomatoes at you kind of heat. Like, get off the stage kind of heat. That's what I feel like it is. Like, just go. We don't want to see you anymore. We're tired of you kind of heat. Yeah. And that's not the right heat. And I think that's why she's letting it bother her, because that's not the kind of heat you want. You don't want that go away heat.
I feel like it translates as awkwardness, because it's like maybe she doesn't know how to navigate it. Maybe this is all on purpose and she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. I don't know. It just feels awkward.
It does. And the thing is, too, having been around for as long as she has, and geez, having her father be Ric Flair, for crying out loud, you'd think they'd have had talks about this. It's very simple. If you're in that position as she is, it is so simple to turn the crowd the way you want them to. They're booing you like, go away, we don't like you, whatever, blah, blah. It is so easy to make some kind of an offhanded remark about the local sports team, about the town, about anything, to turn them to the, oh, yeah, you MF-er, I want to see you die, and get that kind of boo. It's so easy to do. She didn't do it. She let the crowd get to her.
She literally let her get speechless.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. Now, again, you like you said, there's things on social media, websites report certain things, and blah, blah, blah. How much of that is true?
Who
knows? Who knows? Could this whole thing be scripted? If it is, it's a hell of a script. And they're hella actresses, because it didn't look that way.
I had no interest in this match. And then that happened. And I was like, okay, now I'm interested. Heck, we're talking about it. We've been talking for 10 minutes about it?
Yeah, now we want to see it.
So, but after, wasn't there something else?
They did, yes,
they did another.
The last SmackDown. So the follow-up to that whole thing was they did an attack in the parking lot of the arena. That was not filmed by the WWE cameras, but instead they did it in an area where they knew fans were going in and out of the building, one of the entrances. They did it there, and they had Charlotte attack Tiffany in the parking lot and like beat her up by a car, and they had a couple of security guys or whatever come over and break it up. It was like a 10, 15-second little clip that they showed, and it was just fans that were filming it on their phones and posting it on social media. And they did something similar a few months back with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, where they did the same kind of idea. They filmed it. They parked Cody's bus in an area where they knew fans would be going in and out, and they had like a little confrontation there that they just had social media kind of do the work for them, which I think is pretty clever.
Yeah, I feel like this time, I don't know if it worked in their favor, though. It
didn't really look that great this time around. It was not the same effect that the Cody and Kevin one had.
No.
It just didn't look that great, and not that it didn't look great, because again, not from the production standpoint, because again, it's a cell phone video, and it's a couple of different angles from different people that are just taking it on their phone, just people that are just walking by or whatever, and they mention it on TV, and they mention, we sent Charlotte home. They're trying to play off of all the online rumors of unprofessionalism and all this, which is smart on their part. And so they say that, Charlotte has been sent home. And then Tiffany has a match with somebody. And then Charlotte runs in at the end of the match and attacks her again and beats her up and throws her over the announce table or something. And that's it. So that's been the buildup. But I just feel like even that didn't look that good. I don't know what it was about it. I just didn't buy it. It just didn't make me any more excited for anything.
I feel like they were trying to make Charlotte look strong. But it just, it just felt awkward. It felt out of place. It was, I don't know, it felt like it was a step off watching it. I don't know how to describe it. With that video of Charlotte attacking Tiffany in the parking lot, I just went like, ugh.
Yeah, okay. And it ended with Tiffany yelling out, "Why didn't you guys help me?" to like the security guards or something. So it just was like,
which is actually a good point. First of all, like if somebody attacks you and your security, do your job.
Sure, it is, but at the same time, if
it makes her look weak.
If you're the good guy, if you're the baby face in this, if you're the protagonist, you're gonna whine about not being.
So like,
helped.
who's the heels? Like, are they trying?
So that's the thing. I don't know what's supposed to be going on in this one. I don't know who's who. I'm not sure, but it just, I don't know.
So what's your prediction?
It's so difficult because I feel like the crowd doesn't want Charlotte, and if they give Charlotte the win here, I think it could backfire. The WrestleMania crowd it's people from all over the world, and it's the most diehard of wrestling fans. So they're typically what they call a smart wrestling audience, meaning they go online on social media, they read all the news websites, they get the wrestling newsletters and that kind of thing. That tends to be this type of crowd. So I don't know. If they put Charlotte over, it could be disastrous as far as the response goes, but that could also be what they want. So I don't know. I would like to see Tiffany win just because I just don't want to see Charlotte right now. I think that I think that her comeback has just been very blah. That's it. I mean, there's really no other word for it. It's just been blah, and I don't know why that is. I don't know whose call that was. Well, I mean, we know whose call it is. It's Paul Levesque's call. Yeah. Ultimately, everything is. But I don't know if she had input and was like, I don't want to be on TV at all till I'm coming back, or what. I don't know what happened, but I feel like the whole thing has just been botched. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. No idea.
I feel like her return has gone over like a wet fart in church, as they say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So.
I feel like the whole point of everything was to build Charlotte up to hand her the championship. That's what it feels like they're trying to do.
That's what it feels like, and I think ultimately, like I've seen a lot of people say that she's probably going to be the one that beats Ric Flair's record eventually if John Cena doesn't do it this Sunday. But
and maybe
I
they
don't
want to
know.
go for, like, if they have Cena win, like maybe they want to go for a tie, like 2 people. But I just feel like she's not getting the positive, even if it's like a heel reaction, she's not getting it. And if they want to do that, maybe later on, but I feel like maybe, at least for me, from a fan standpoint, I want to see more from her. I want to see her actually earn it. I feel like it's just everything's kind of getting handed to her. Like, you've been gone, I get it, you had a knee injury, but I don't know. Right now, I don't want to see you. There's nothing you've done to impress me or wow me or entertain me other than making me feel like cringy about it.
She's living off of her reputation.
Yeah. So I want to see Tiffany Stratton win.
Isn't that what it feels like, though?
Yeah.
Almost like living off the reputation that she's built, which that's okay. But at the same time, you're wrestling for the championship again, and it's against somebody who's a lot younger, who's, quite frankly, a lot more flashy, a lot more athletically gifted, in my opinion. So is that the time to really rest on your laurels? And I don't mean this as a knock at the performer. I mean just the buildup of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what it feels like.
I think they could have done a better job building the story.
But again, anything can happen, and there's still a SmackDown tomorrow night that we haven't seen yet, so we don't know what's going to happen there. It might change our minds with the whole thing entirely, so who knows. But moving on from that, the next match is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with champion Gunther defending against Jey Uso.
So I want to be honest. I like Jey Uso, but I don't know. I how can I put this? I just haven't really, I've just been like meh with his stuff. And he's done some good stuff, but I don't know, maybe it's the character he portrays. I'm just like, whatever. I really like Gunther. I think I talked about it last year when we talked about his match. He's really good. He's entertaining. Great on promos, great in the ring. I don't like to see him lose, and it's because he's really good and I'm always entertained. He's done a great job. They had the Jay and Jimmy, and Gunther went off and just beat the crap out of Jimmy. And it was great. Everything they did, that was really good. But then the following week they come back, and at first it's why is Jey Uso just not attacking him after what Gunther did? And then I saw the direction they went, and I'm like, okay. And then the following week, Gunther comes back, and, he seems pissed and everything. And it's okay, they're both fired up. This will be good. I want to see Gunther win. I think they're going to give it to Jey Uso, but I'd like to see Gunther keep the title.
I loved what they did a couple weeks back when Gunther bloodied up Jey Uso, and they did that whole thing. I thought that was fantastic.
That was great.
It was great old school heat. It was really a great way to build just anticipation and interest in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the thing they did last week with Jey Uso in the follow-up to that whole bloody thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I had the same impression as you at first. I remember even yelling at the TV, why isn't he running in and trying to kill this man who zip-tied him to the ropes and beat his brother literally to a bloody pulp.
I'd be coming at you with a bat or something.
Why is he not? What's going on here? And then he just kind of got in his face, and Gunther sold it so well.
So good.
So perfectly, where he comes out smiling like
all
a
cocky
Cheshire cat, and then by the midway point, as he's realizing, and Jay's telling him, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm going to hurt you. All the stuff that he's saying to him. And you can see Gunther's facial expressions being like, whoa, oh, shit.
His cockiness has left the building.
He realizes I done messed up now.
Yep.
And it was just such a great, slow, gradual progression to that point, going from just cocky, arrogant, big smile to the, oh, shit, I've done messed up now. And then coming out this past week, and just coming out and cutting a fired up, angry. You think you're not scared of me. That's fine. Whatever, blah, blah, whatever he was saying. But it was just a great fired up promo.
And then I'm going to call my mom. And, it's
just
good
it was
stuff. Really good.
Really good stuff. Gunther is, in my opinion, the best guy they got right now. I love watching him. I love when he talks. To me, is what a professional wrestler should be. He could be a top guy today. He is a top guy today. He could have been a top guy 20 years ago. He could have been a top guy 40, 60, 80, 100 years ago. He's timeless.
Yes.
He's perfect professional wrestler, in my opinion. He's great.
I agree.
So I would love to see him win. I think Jey Uso is going to win.
But I think regardless, it's going to be
an entertaining
match.
Oh, yeah. Because I have yet to see Gunther have a bad match. With anybody.
Yeah.
And he's had matches with Jey Uso in the past that have been fantastic.
Yes.
This will be great. And I think if Jey Uso wins, and I think he's going to, it's going to be an enormous reaction. And deserved. I think Jey Uso definitely, I know he's one of the top merchandise sellers there, and that's a big metric that is taken into account when you're putting people in these kind of positions. So we'll see what happens. But let's get to the main event now of night one of a stacked WrestleMania night one card. We've got Seth Rollins taking on, this is a three-way match, a triple threat as they call it. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
With the wise man stuck in the middle.
And you have Paul Heyman, who is Roman Reigns' wise man, advisor, counsel, manager, whatever you want to call it, is actually going to be in the corner of CM Punk.
That was the favor.
He says is his best friend. This goes back to War Games Survivor Series of last year, where Roman Reigns' team was down 3-4, right? They needed another guy. Nobody would come in, and Paul Heyman called his best friend CM Punk and got him to agree to help them out and even the odds so that Roman Reigns' team could win. And all that was required, CM Punk said, I'll do this for you, but you're going to owe me a favor. And so you've been waiting now since Survivor Series, November of last year, to find out what the favor was. And you found out, 2 weeks ago, we found out finally what it was. And CM Punk said, I want you in my corner, Paul Heyman.
Which we kind of expected.
Expected something to that effect.
Yeah.
But we've also been told that this is the main event of night one of WrestleMania. And this is the big story here, is that it's CM Punk's first time main eventing WrestleMania. And for longtime fans, CM Punk left the WWE back in 2014 famously. He walked out the night after the Royal Rumble. He walked out of Monday Night Raw, quitting, never coming back, and did a bunch of podcast interviews talking about why he left and how he wanted to be the main event of WrestleMania and never could be. Had pretty much come to terms with the fact he'd never main event of WrestleMania, blah, 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 all this stuff. This is over 10 years ago now. And now here he is. He came back in 2023, and now here he is. Finally going to main event WrestleMania. So good for him. Congratulations to him. That's great.
Yeah.
So I think the story is that he's going to be in the main event. Now, is he going to win his first main event of WrestleMania? Is Roman Reigns going to lose 2 WrestleMania main events in a row? He lost to Cody Rhodes last year. Are they going to do that to Roman Reigns? And what about Seth Rollins, who feel like he loses all the time at WrestleMania too? He
definitely loses with his wardrobe.
He took the pinfall last year.
Yeah.
When he lost to Drew McIntyre. He lost the tag team match with Cody Rhodes. He was on the losing end of that. I think Cody actually got pinned in that one, but still, he doesn't win at WrestleMania very often, it doesn't seem. So what's going to happen here? It's going to be interesting. And is Paul Heyman going to stay? Paul Heyman has said he is loyal to Roman Reigns. He's loyal to the tribal chief. But he also said that he's loyal to his best friend. How can he stay loyal to both of them in this match?
You can be an impartial buddy. I think it's absolutely possible, but I think the problem is you have the two people trying to get him, more so Roman Reigns, using manipulation. But okay, here's the thing. It's like he's afraid of Roman Reigns. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like, do you really want to be in his corner? And why? So I feel like there's more story there. So I'm excited to see where it develops. And
what do you think? What's your prediction, though? Come on, we got to give a prediction now.
I want to see CM Punk win.
Okay.
I'd like to see CM Punk win. And I look at it like just as a performer, this is his WrestleMania. He's been in the business so long. He's finally there, and he's been injured a lot. So who knows how many years he has left. I'd like to see him have that moment. And especially with Paul Heyman in his corner, because he, was part of ECW. They go back really far. I just would really like to see that moment.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't mind seeing that as well. I think that'd be cool to see Punk win. That'd be a cool little nice happy ending to night one. I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think Seth Rollins is gonna win, and I think Paul Heyman is gonna go with Seth Rollins because he said he's gonna stay loyal to Roman and he's gonna stay loyal to CM Punk. He can stay loyal to them by not helping either one of them. Mm-hmm. And he does something. They're very clever, all these guys, mm-hmm. and they all have input in this whole, in their creative. And them, can you imagine sitting in a room with these four guys and then Triple H coming in and then whoever the producer is, probably going to be Michael Hayes, who produces a lot of their stuff, them all sitting and powwowing and coming up with the stuff for this match. Oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. The genius, mm-hmm. the ideas, and the creativity. They're going to come up with something really clever, and it's going to be really good. Oh, yeah. No matter what it is, it's going to be very entertaining. And I would like to see a happy ending. I think it'd be cool, but you got 2 nights of WrestleMania.
I think you're either going to love it, the end of the match, you're either going to love it or you're going to love to hate it. But have you heard about the theories going out about Seth Rollins?
No.
That
You read a lot of more of the social media stuff. You tell me about this stuff more than I
follow one place because they got all the good stuff.
You tell me stuff. I don't know any of this. Go ahead.
But apparently there's theories out there that he's working for the final boss. Because, yeah, okay. And because he was saying what's best for business, and they're like, oh, he's working, for the final boss. He's in with John Cena, so they're So there was a really funny post on Twitter where somebody was like, he's even copying The Rock. They show him in this black leather vest, and then a picture of The Rock wearing a vest like it, and then the picture of The Rock with like the turtleneck and the gold chain, and they show him in the black turtleneck. And they're just saying, like, see, he's even copying his style.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was really neat. So we'll find out.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. These guys, again, a lot of the people involved in this stuff are they like to think long term. They like to drop little Easter eggs along the way. And if you're paying attention, it can be really fun to pick up on a lot of this stuff. I think no matter what they do, it's going to be really entertaining. It's going on last for a reason. And I think it's going to be really good. And I don't think it's going to be the happy ending of CM Punk winning. I don't think.
I'm not saying I expect that.
It'd be great if it was. I'd like to see that. It'd be great. But I think the more interesting thing would be Paul Heyman not necessarily turning on them, but they'll do something where he maybe could have helped one and didn't, or it's going to be something like that. And I'm sure it's not going to be just one time. It'll be several things peppered in throughout the match because they're probably going to go 25, 30 minutes, I would think. So, but whatever it is, I think it'll be controversial and it'll get people talking and it'll get people even more excited wondering what the hell is going to happen night 2. Mm-hmm. So, moving on to night 2.
Night 2.
Here we go. We have... as we mentioned before, we have Randy Orton, I believe is still scheduled for a match. We just don't know who his opponent is going to be. It was going to be Kevin Owens.
He got hurt.
Who has sustained, I think I read it was a neck injury. I don't know what
that
exactly,
sucks.
But he's expected to be out for like a year or so if he comes back ever. And me having my wrestling career ended because of a neck injury, sucks. Not fun. I still deal with it every day. It's not fun. So I hope nothing but the best for that guy because that guy busts his ass. He is a hard worker.
Yeah.
And he is a hell of a pro wrestler.
Yes.
Not conventional by any means, but damn good. Excellent talker, excellent wrestler. So wish him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. So there was some...
What are your rumors that you've heard about who Randy Orton's opponent's going
to
be?
Well, no rumors. Okay. But Kevin Owens makes his announcement, then Randy Orton comes out, and then he what did he do to Nick Aldis, right?
Nick Aldis is the GM, the general manager of SmackDown. He's the authority figure.
And what did he do to him? I forget.
He gave him an RKO.
RKO, thank you.
Because Nick Aldis told him, unfortunately, you don't have a match now at WrestleMania.
And so we're like, oh, we'd like to see him against Nick Aldis. That would be different. It would be fun. Get to see what Nick Aldis can do. But then the following week, Solo Sikoa comes out with Tama Tonga. And they end up having a tag match with Randy Orton and LA Knight. But we were saying they're probably going to, Solo isn't on the card. They're probably going to maybe have him against.
It might be something
Randy
like
Orton,
that.
maybe?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe they won't have Randy Orton wrestle. I'd be really surprised. I don't think it's going to be Nick Aldis, although Nick Aldis that guy still looks amazing.
Yeah.
He's young too. I think he's only like 38 or 39. He's not old. And he's really good. I'm surprised he was never signed by them to be an in-ring talent. But he's got this sweet gig as the general manager where he just has to dress up, look nice in a suit every week and do a couple of talking segments. So, and take no bumps, which is a great gig. But if they give him a shot to wrestle, that'd be cool. It'd be a cool story. But really, then what? You know what I mean?
No,
like
I know.
that's
Where does it
why.
go?
Where does it go? And that's why I think a lot of people that are like theorizing it's going to be him, they don't realize that that's not really how it works. Like if they're in a pinch and there's nobody else that they can put in there, but there's a million guys that can fill that spot.
But you gotta be able to work it in somewhat organically. And I feel like
It's
what
gotta
they
make
did with
sense.
Solo Sikoa,
Yeah.
last week I feel like that works.
That's probably what it'll end up being, most likely.
Or we'll be totally surprised.
Or exactly. Or
what
it
if
could
KO
be,
shows up?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. What if the whole thing with his injury was not real?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we forgot about that. And there's also, well, I don't want to get into too much speculation about that because we don't even know. So anyway, next match, AJ Styles is going to be wrestling Logan Paul.
Our middle child hates Logan Paul with a burning passion.
It's so funniest thing. It's so funny. He hates him so. The minute his music comes on, oh, I hate this guy. Like, hates him.
And that's the heat you want because you're like a heel.
That is the kind of heat I used to love getting when I was wrestling. That's what you want.
Yeah.
He hates him so much.
It's great.
Every time he wins, he gets so mad because usually he wins by cheating. He's just such a cheater. Oh, I hate him so much. Why does he cheat? Oh, I hate him. It's the best. It's so fun to watch him get mad.
Hearing the weird profanity type words about Logan Paul that come out of his mouth that are just like, what?
Yeah, he comes up with the anger and vitriol from the deepest, darkest depths of his young soul come to the surface when Logan Paul shows up on the TV. It's hilarious.
It's great.
Oh goodness! So I don't know about that one. It probably could be Logan Paul if I had to guess. But it's gonna be great because AJ Styles is, as his namesake, he's phenomenal.
Yes.
So I think that'll be an entertaining. Who do you think is gonna win in that one?
I'd like to. Logan Paul, I think, is great. No matter if you hate him or you feel like oh well, he wasn't a wrestler. Like that boy is talented, athletic. He does a great job, and he's so good at being a heel. But I'd like to see AJ go over.
All right.
Let him win. Well, not let him win, but
let him win.
That's not what I meant. I'd like to see him win.
We'll see what happens. My prediction's Logan Paul, though.
Mm-hmm.
Younger. I appreciate this guy is super talented.
Yeah. I feel like either way, I'm not going to be mad about it.
I think it's going to be an excellent, exciting match. They'll probably do a lot of really cool, nifty stuff. You'll probably see clips of it on social media, I'm sure, after the fact. Next match, the Women's Tag Team Championship is on the line as the champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, defend against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
I feel like this is just like, what's up with the women's tag teams? Because they had to have this tournament with what was the match they did where there was just two and then
it was a what's it called, a gauntlet match last week.
So they do a gauntlet match and I'm like, okay, that's not even a real tag team, that they just got slapped together. I felt like a lot of it is, where are the women's tag teams?
It's not as celebrated a division as the men's is.
I feel like a lot of people just get kind of slapped together. It's not as deep. And the ones that we did have recently, have been broken up. People have been released. The Secret Harvest with Piper and Alba Fire. Yeah, I guess you could call them a tag team. But still pretty new. You had Meechin and BFAB, again, still pretty new together.
What does this have to do with this match, though?
I'm just saying, like, to build up to
okay, got it.
To get to this point. And then you have Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, who aren't even a tag team.
Yeah, they are. They're a tag team for this match.
Yeah, for this match.
Two people who have wrestled each other in recent weeks.
I know.
Are tagging up now, and they are challenging for the women's tag team titles.
And we're watching the gauntlet. I'm like, it's going to be Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, because who else is WrestleMania caliber, right? So
yeah,
I love watching Liv Morgan and Raquel. I think they're doing a great job.
They're the Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
They are. They are the Shawn Michaels and Diesel, and it's great.
That's
and
what their act is.
I want them to keep it. I think they are. I think so too. I think they're going to keep it.
Yeah, I think so, and I think they should, and they're very entertaining.
They are.
Yeah, Liv Morgan right now, if you watch her wardrobe, her mannerisms, the way she bumps and feeds, she's 1994 Shawn Michaels.
And Raquel is
Raquel Rodriguez is 1994 Diesel.
Yes.
That's what they are right now. That's all they do. They probably just watch tapes of them, and you know what? Great, because that was great.
I'm enjoying it,
and it's awesome,
yes.
and they're doing great stuff.
They are.
And Liv Morgan is so talented.
She is.
She's been like awesome since she's come back in the last year and a half.
Yes.
She's been fantastic. So, yeah, I would agree. I think they're going to keep the tag team titles, and I think deservedly so.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have a Sin City street fight with Damian Priest taking on Drew McIntyre. What do you think about this one?
I love Drew McIntyre. I really like Damian Priest. And normally I'd be like, yeah, I'd like him to win, but I want Drew McIntyre to win, damn it. I want him to win. He's so good. And you can look at his point of view and say he's actually got a point. He's right about stuff, all the things he's mad about. But I want Drew McIntyre to win.
Yeah, his heel character is
so good and
great.
So entertaining.
He's so great.
And I was just thinking, okay, so last year's WrestleMania, he's like tweeting during the match.
Yes.
It was great. Bored at work, LOL. Like he's so entertaining, he's fun, and he's good. And I'm really excited to watch this match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I've enjoyed the build up to it. I think it's been really good. I think both these guys work incredibly hard. Damian Priest works hard.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre works so hard, and he's so good. And I feel like even on the mic, both of them have been. I mean, Drew McIntyre's been just money on the mic for the last several years. He's been money, but I feel like Damian Priest is holding his own too. I think they're both delivering in the build up to this, and I think that their match, I feel like it's not. I feel like it doesn't have the hype or the anticipation that a lot of these other matches do, but I think this one will over deliver. Yeah. I think they're gonna do. It's a street fight, so with that kind of stuff, there's gonna be probably chairs, tables, all that stuff. And I think that whatever they do, they're going to do it because they're both very intelligent too. They're both very smart workers. Mm-hmm. It's going to be brutal. I think they're really going to be hitting hard, and I think it's going to be really entertaining.
Agreed.
Next. Oh, well, who do you think's going to win?
I said I want Drew to win.
Oh, you said Drew. Okay. I don't know on this one. I'm going to go with Drew as well.
Of course you are.
I'm going to go with Drew as well. All right, next one. We've got the triple threat match for the WWE Women's World Championship. That's right. There's a Women's World Championship and a WWE Women's Championship. There's two of them. Well, in this one, the champion is Io Sky, and she is defending against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. So,
to back up.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley was the champ. And then she was scheduled to go against Bianca Belair because Bianca won Elimination Chamber. But she had told Io the next Raw, she'll give her a match.
Who told Io?
I'm sorry, Rhea told Io she'd give her a match to make up for something that happened before. And Io won the championship. And I remember before Io won, after Elimination Chamber, I was so excited because I thought, yes, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, like two of my favorite females. This is great. I really want to see what they do together.
Sure.
And then Io won, and I was like, oh, it's got to be the three of them. Because if it was just Io against Bianca Belair, I'm sure it'd be great. But the three of them together, I'm really excited to see what they do.
Well, I mean, you can't have WrestleMania without Rhea Ripley on it. She's the biggest women's star they have. She's the most popular one, I would say, by far. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, you knew. And they gave it to you one week, and they took it away from you. Mm-hmm. And they finally gave it back to you in the build-up to this. It's been all right, I guess. I don't know if it's been, like, the greatest build-up. It's been kind of sloppy at times, some of the stuff they've done.
Can I just point out, too?
Please.
Like typical WWE manager fashion, I'm not going to give you what you want. You can't just come in and demand it. I'm not going to give it to you. And then somehow it gets turned around like, oh yeah, like almost as a punishment. Oh, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. It's like, seriously? That's not a punishment. You're giving them what they want.
Who said that?
No, just like a lot of times when somebody wants a match and they're like, no. And then like the person will keep doing stuff like, fine, you want a match? You've got it. It's like the whole point was to not give them what they wanted, and now you're just giving them exactly what they wanted.
Because that's what the crowd wants too.
I know, but it's just so funny the way they go about it.
All right. It's pro wrestling,
I'm
baby.
humored by it. That's all.
It's pro wrestling. It's how it's always
Who do you
been.
think's going to win?
Wow, that's a good one. I'll tell you, I think, boy, I'm going to go with Io Sky in this one. Because why else would you put the title on her if you're just going to have her lose it again right away? You could, of course, but I think that Rhea Ripley doesn't need the championship.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think Bianca Belair needs it either. They're both just big enough stars on their own. But I think just Io Sky has been so overshadowed in the build-up to this. Mm-hmm. She's been like the third wheel, and she's the champion. Yep. That I feel like she's going to shine in this. Yeah. They all are, but I think she's going to shine. I think ultimately she'll be the one that wins.
I agree with you. And I think part of it is because I feel like Rhea Ripley is so big, she doesn't need that championship. So somebody else can have that moment and get build up. But I do think that, like the way you said, she's been pushed out. So you want to see her like overcome, but the irony is like you have Io Sky, who's tiny, against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, who are well-built, muscularly defined women. So it's like she has the disadvantage. So it should be interesting how she can overcome that.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing too: Io Sky's been champion before, and she was a great champion. Mm-hmm. Like she's a great. I love watching her wrestle. I think she's exciting. She's fun, exciting. All her stuff looks good. So I think she's gonna win just because she was so overshadowed in this build-up that I think she's gonna win, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Oh, and who do you think's gonna win? You think it's gonna be Io?
I think Io's gonna win.
That's your prediction. All right. The next match is a fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. So you have four people here. You've got the champion, Braun Breaker, defending against Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. This should be interesting.
It should be. Well, because it's like you have the different styles of wrestling, especially with Penta in there. So, and Braun Breaker. It's like those two styles kind of clash, but...
Have they wrestled each other yet?
Yeah,
they did, didn't they?
They
did, okay.
And then you have Finn and Dom. And then you have like that whole factor where you have two people from Judgment Day competing for this.
Two people in the same faction.
Yes.
Right.
Competing for this championship. And obviously Finn Balor thinks he deserves it. So is Dominic going to help Finn get that championship? Is he going to say, I'm my own man and I deserve it just as much, and try to win it for himself? And what's going to happen with that fallout? Who is Braun Breaker going to keep his championship, or are we going to have this new guy become champion? I want to see Dom win.
I would say if I'm the one putting this together and if I'm the one coming up with it, I'd put Dominic Mysterio over as well because I think that would give you the best story out of all this.
Where does this go?
The best fallout would be from that.
And then you can have some chicken tendies after to celebrate.
Sure. Braun Breaker can move on to bigger things. Or you have him chasing Dominic, whatever. But Penta, I don't know. He's all right. I'm not like super duper impressed with him. I think he's okay. Cool. Finn Balor's excellent. Yeah. I think honestly he should be in the world title picture, but that's just me. But I think this will be a good match. And then finally, the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania 41. You have Cody Rhodes defending his undisputed WWE Championship against the man on his retirement tour, John Cena, who recently turned bad. He became a bad guy.
Yeah, he did. He's a meanie.
He's a heel now.
I'm wondering how many Make-A-Wish kids are just like, I wasted my wish on you.
What do you think about how that's all been done? His heel turn, him going bad.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why not?
I didn't say why. I said, what do you think about it?
I know. I'm just saying, why not? It's a different direction. It's something like John Cena, who's been Mr. Persevere and you can do it, good guy for so long. And now it's like, and the way I think about it is think about his character in Peacemaker. This guy's an actor. He's got range. And now he's just being a bad guy in wrestling, and it's different. And it's like, okay, where's this going to go? Because think about it. What would be more exciting? John Cena turning heel, which is everyone's like, what? And then you have Cody Rhodes, the champion, the good guy, or two good guys who everyone really likes, and then feeling torn because it's like, well, this is the end for John Cena, but it's Cody Rhodes and we want to keep our champ. Now you got most people want to see Cody Rhodes win. You've got something going on. You've got more of a dynamic. I want to see John Cena win.
So if John Cena wins, he will break Ric Flair's official record of 16 world championships.
I don't even care about that. I just want to see where it goes with his story.
So that's the big, but that's part of the storyline. John Cena says that if he wins, he's going to retire with the title. So that's it for the title. That's part of his shtick now.
Yeah.
Is he's saying he's going to retire with the title. He's going to keep it, and then he's done in December, and that's it. He's retiring as champion. So do you think that he's going to walk out as champion on Sunday night?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. I want to see Cena win. Just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun of it, sure. It's just when he turned heel at the Elimination Chamber with The Rock and that Travis Scott rapper guy that was in the ring, that whole thing was excellent. It was wow, that was good.
That was great.
I feel like the follow up to it, not so good. Where's The Rock been? Where's this Travis Scott guy been? You haven't seen them anywhere.
Nothing.
There hasn't been a peep. There hasn't been a promo on social media. There's been nothing.
John Cena only did like 2. Since then, John Cena's only come out, I think, twice?
3. I think he's been on 3 shows.
3 shows.
And it was, he just talks. And then finally, the 3rd week, he got into a face-to-face with Cody Rhodes. They were face-to-face. And he got hit with Cody Rhodes' finisher and left laying in the ring. That's the buildup. Now, I know that he's going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night, so there's going to be something else that happens for the final buildup to WrestleMania and everything, so that we'll see what that is. But I'm underwhelmed. The turn was great.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just been kind of like...
But I think that's why I want Cena to win. I want something. I like chaos, and I want some form of chaos with this, because I think that's a good way to put it, underwhelmed. So let's
hopefully, I mean,
let's get some chaos.
I think it would make a better story if Cena wins, because then, like you said, chaos. Now what's going to happen? Who's he going to wrestle? Because he's still got till December. He says he's done after December, and I think that's probably a legit thing. I think he's moving on. He's just going to be in Hollywood full time. But I don't know. I feel like, what's going to happen? And what happens to Cody Rhodes if he loses to John Cena? He's just going to have rematches all summer? Like, what's going to happen there?
Because if Cody Rhodes wins, it kind of feels like wash, rinse, repeat. It's just doing the same. Okay. Gets an opponent, faces, beats it. But
he's only been the champion since last year's WrestleMania. Yeah. It's not like he's been champion forever.
No.
It's been a year.
I know.
So he could.
But the whole building the story, we had all of that beforehand.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you overcome your obstacles. And it's like, you do this for the people. I get it. I'm just getting bored.
I would agree with you. I think that's a fair assessment.
I feel unfulfilled as a watcher.
I feel, I feel like I will give Cody Rhodes all the credit in the world. He's in the spot for a reason, and he's carrying it very well. I personally, I don't get it. I'm not a Cody fan. I mean, he's all right, but I don't get it. Like, he comes
off to me too much like a politician.
I don't get it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't get it. To me, I don't get it. But that's fine. I don't have to get it. Everyone else does, so that's all that matters. But I feel like it's a better story if Cena wins.
Yeah. And
there's a lot more you can do, and it'll be a lot more exciting, yes. I think.
So,
but WrestleMania is also the time where there's returns, there's surprises, a bunch of things could happen that could overshadow the results of any of these matches.
This is true.
So that's something to keep into account. And again, as we've already said several times throughout this podcast, SmackDown's tomorrow night. That's a 3-hour show, and that's the final build. So we're recording this before then. So who knows? Something monumental or big could happen then to shift all the questions. There could be a million more questions going into the event. So who knows? And
I will say, you know what? When we first began this episode, I was like, is it going to live up to last year? And then kind of talking over each match, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I feel more confident.
I think
I
think this card is so stacked.
Oh, so stacked.
And I mean, there's so many people that are not on the show that are top guys level that are not on the show. So that just shows you how stacked and deep this roster is. So, and from what I've been seeing online, there's going to be a lot of returns, a lot of people coming back pretty soon. Maybe not at WrestleMania, but within the next couple weeks. So
and the Monday Night Raw after is always good too.
Yeah, the Raw and the SmackDown after WrestleMania are typically very newsworthy as far as returns and that kind of thing. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. It's going to be it's the most exciting time of year for wrestling fans,
and
of course.
We're going to do a show after WrestleMania. We'll put out for the following weekend probably. So we usually do every other weekend we put stuff out, but we'll probably do
we'll come back probably.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, probably later on in the week with our thoughts on WrestleMania. We'll record another show about that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and obviously, like, we're going to probably record a few days after Mania. We're going to want to watch that Raw. So send us your thoughts on WrestleMania, what you thought of it, and we can talk about it.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, I am Golden Greek Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful, lovely wife, Monique.
Oh, I just jumped the gun. I was hopping in there.
Wow. Yeah. Getting a little crazy.
I'm like, I'm ready for WrestleMania. I'm ready to watch it. I still got to wait 2 days. You've been listening to the Homewrecker podcast.
We love hearing from and interacting with our hearers and watchers. Feel free to reach out to us on Twitter
at HomewreckerPod.
You can also visit our website,
homewreckerpodcast.com,
where you can check out past episodes and pick up some Homewrecker Podcast gear from our online store.
Also, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe or follow button wherever you're hearing or watching our show. That way you can be notified whenever a new episode drops. We're on all major podcasting platforms, and you can check out the video versions of our show at YouTube and Brighteon.
You can also find Monique in a few places online as well.
I'm on Twitter @_MoniqueGiselle_. If you're interested in a tarot reading, organite, incense, candles, and other cool things, you can go to my website, tarotbymonique.com. Or if you're interested in hypnotherapy, you can go to innerstandingshypnosis.com to schedule a free 20-minute consult. And follow me on Twitter @MoniquePCHT. And Alex, how can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter @TheAlexArion, and you can check out my website, AlexArionFitness.com.
And if that's too much to remember, we get it. That's why we put it all in our show notes.
Thanks for spending your time with us, and we appreciate all of your support.
We do. Thank you. We love you. Many people are unaware just how much hypnotherapy can help them, or think it's only to help lose weight or quit smoking. But there is so much more hypnotherapy can do. It can help with stress, anxiety, insomnia, phobias, performance enhancement, connecting with your spirit guides and higher self. You can even discover past lives and your life between lives. Heal traumas, break habits, find your deepest truth, or just have fun discovering who you really are, all from the comfort of your home. I'm Monique Pliakis. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I want to help you. Schedule a free consult by going to www.innerstandingshypnosis.com. That's INNERSTANDINGSHYPNOSIS.com. Inner Standings Hypnosis. Find your power and ignite your inner light.